Welcome back to Town Square. Today we're interviewing Penny Schomaker, who is the owner of Fire Within Fitness Training in Russellville, Arkansas. We're going to talk about her gym and what sets her apart and how she interacts. She's building a community in her gym and how you can get involved too. There's some free classes if you listen till the end. All right, let's get started.
My name is Penny Schomaker, and I am half owner of the gym called Fire Within Fitness Training. I'm the coach there, coach, trainer, gym manager.
Over by Funky Town Mall.
Yes, in that Suite 7.
In that suite right there.
Yep.
And how long have y'all been open now?
We just had our grand opening in September, and I had started like some free classes, like in the May time frame, in May sometime, just seeing how it would go, kind of practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I have a feeling that you view yourself as an athlete.
Yes.
So when it comes to athletics and the type of challenges you're focused on, what do you like to do the most? Run, ruck, weights, like what area is your interest?
Probably my favorite thing to do is a weightlifting routine that adds a little bit of cardio into it. So,
would that be HIIT?
I don't do the high intensity type. I'm more of a progressive. It's what I learned in women's weightlifting training, that it should be a progression. So instead of focusing on time intervals when I weightlift, I concentrate on repetitions and the weight and progress it slowly each time. Now, the circuit training that I teach in the gym, that is timed. That's all done on a timed basis. So, but weightlifting is a whole different thing, and I'm getting that set up in the gym, and am going to not have classes, but train people how to weightlift also.
How many days a week do you personally train?
5,
days a week?
sometimes 6, yep.
And what do you do? Like, some people hear that and they're like, wow, that's a lot. What do you train for? Like, is there an event you train for, or do you train just to train? Train just to have a trained body?
I prefer like well-rounded workouts, and so when I have classes, which I have 3 to 6 a day, the classes focus on working upper body, core, lower body, and cardio or endurance. So we do a little bit of everything, and it's all on a timed circuit style. So instead of like doing a superset, which most people are aware of, you do something once for a minute, you do 9 other stations, then come back to it again. So you're not taxing that muscle in a superset of upper body or a superset of lower body, or you're doing it and then coming back to it again. And
you find that that's like better for injuries? And
I feel it is, and especially for beginners, people that have never picked up a weight before or done anything. It's a progression instead of a total, let's hit this hard type of, and you can modify it easier too. So if I set up a station and we're going to do bicep curls, I'll set out everything from 3-pound weights to 20-pound dumbbells, because I have a little of everybody from all different levels of fitness.
What's the biggest transformation you've seen in one of your clients?
Oh boy, we've been talking about that a lot, being January 1st. I've been asking people, so what have you seen since you started coming here? And a lot of times it matches up with what I'm seeing, but the biggest thing that I see that a person doesn't always see in themselves is confidence. From the person they walked in a few months ago, they're a totally different person in the confidence in themselves. So that's the thing I see that people don't see in themselves, is what the getting fit does for your mental health. Now, if you're talking physical health, I've seen everything from someone who couldn't even get up and down off the floor, can get up and down off the floor. Breathing. Someone could barely breathe, and now they're finishing 30-minute classes. It's just been amazing at the transformation and growth in the people that have been coming consistently for a while now. And so for the month of January, which will continue all year, I'm creating a care community within Fire Within, and it's anyone who has, I don't like to say goals, I call them targets, because goals are long-term, and I want people to reach targets a little at a time, because you feel more fulfilled that way. I'm getting a group of people together that want to encourage each other, share their bad days, their good days, and realize that we're all in it together. I said that to somebody one day. I said, I'm not creating a gym here, I'm creating a community. I want this to be a community of people here. So I just feel very strongly that you have to want to be there, and you have to want to encourage each other and be there for each other. This isn't just a gym that you go to on your own.
Mm-hmm. Very group, community oriented. And how do y'all that network? Do y'all communicate like through a text chat or just in person?
We're just getting that going. I wanted to make sure I had the whole month of January to figure out who all wanted to be a part of it, and almost everyone does. And they've kind of talked me into creating a Facebook page, and so I've had to learn a lot about social media since I started this, and I'm still learning, so that will be a challenge. Something I want to learn how to do is to set up a Facebook page. And
yeah, you set up a Facebook group, a private one.
Yes.
Invite them all in.
Yes. Yep, that's what they told me to do, and so I'm going to do it. I'm going to.
Awesome. Well, if you need help, we can help you with that.
Okay.
That's good. So the type of person that Fire Within Fitness Training is for, can you describe them to me? Because people listening,
yes.
if they're listening, want them to know.
Well, even in our waivers that we sign, I tell people, if you cannot be an encouragement to others, I don't think you'll fit in here. I want you, not that you don't have your own struggles, you do, but like I said, I'm trying to create a community. And I have from teenagers to 80-year-olds, and you have to be encouraging. I have special needs people in there. You have to be able to be encouraging. And at some gyms, you walk in and you feel intimidated. You don't feel encouraged. And I always tell the clients and members, I want you to leave here feeling encouraged, not defeated. And you can feel that way yourself, but nobody better do it to anyone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some gyms you walk into them and maybe the people aren't even not friendly. It's
yes.
Just, they're over there curling 100 pounds.
Yes.
Listening to their music.
Yeah.
And then you're learning how to do 10 pounds.
Yes.
So I get that 100%. And
yes.
You're with them there. I've seen the way your class works. You're with them going through the circuits and kind of going around giving people individual coaching and walking them through it.
Yes. Yep. It's even though I can have 8 people in there at one time, I'm right in the center, so I'm watching everything everyone does. And they'll all tell you I'm a stickler for form. I will stop you if your form isn't correct. And I tell them it's 2 things. Number 1, I don't want you to get hurt. And number 2, you're not benefiting from it if you're not doing it correctly. Mm-hmm. It might not be something that's hurting you, but you might not be benefiting from it either. And with all the different levels in there at one time, you have to make sure, like I'll watch and like, nope, they need the 3-pound weights, or they need a level taken off the step up that we're doing, or I'm very aware of everything going on because I'm right in the middle of it, and I will stop them and say, no, we need to do this, and I also describe it. I don't just show it. I explain what it is to correct what they're doing and why.
Yeah.
Because I want people to know. So the ones that have been there for a while, we're already getting into, like when they're doing an exercise, I say, okay, so what muscle are you feeling? Mm-hmm. What are you feeling right now? And then getting them to focus, because if you focus more on that muscle in your mind, it's gonna strengthen faster. You're mm-hmm. gonna feel it. You're gonna use it, and so yeah, we have some fun. We maybe talk a little too much sometimes, but I really feel like you need to be focusing when you're working out. So you just get a lot better result from that exercise if you're focusing on the muscles that you're supposed to be working.
Yeah. Do you find that a lot of like first timers, that mind muscle connection isn't there?
It's not there. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been there. I don't
Yep.
even know what you're trying to feel.
Yes.
And it can be frustrating. So having someone show you that.
Yes, and it's not just a movement either.
It's the pacing.
You have to think. You have to think, and it's if you're building strength, it's slow or controlled. I've started using the word controlled instead of slow. And so all of that, but you can't throw it all out there all at once.
Oh yeah,
it's a progress.
The first challenge might just be getting them to show up consistently.
Yes. Yeah.
And then start thinking about, and what do you think the hardest period is? Like the first week, first 2 weeks?
I would say even right after that, because you're kind of all gung-ho, and if you're going to hurt. No matter what, you're going to hurt that first few weeks, but I'm trying to make sure you're not overdoing it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of right after that time period to me. Everybody's a little different, but then you're getting where you're thinking about it. You're maybe getting a little disappointed in things. It's a progression. Mm-hmm. It's a journey. It's not a sprint. And I'm not where I'm at from being anywhere a few months. It's taken years mm-hmm. to get to the point that I'm at. And
how long have you been training for?
Oh, goodness. I've been active most of my life, but really hitting it hard maybe 10 years ago.
Wow, 10 years. And how do you feel 10 years in?
Oh, it's amazing. One of the best examples I give to people that are feeling discouraged, I did my first 2 full chin-ups, no assist, anything, at age 59.
Really?
Yeah. So you never give up. You never say I can't. That was my goal. Every single year I want to do one by myself. And it was the most exciting thing the first time, and I actually could do 2 full ones. Mm-hmm. And it was just amazing. And the people watching, and it was just amazing. And you'd think you'd give up long before that, but if I can't do something, I just keep working at it.
So how many years into training was your first 2 pull-ups or chin-ups?
Well, that was only about 2 years ago, so like about 8 years mm-hmm. into it.
And I've heard, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard you like to run up Nebo.
Running is not my favorite thing. I am a part of a Runnersville group, but I train more for the endurance and strength of it. I will run. I've already signed up for some races, but I don't go to them to like get any kind of personal record or anything. I'm just trying to support the other people out there doing it. And
what's the longest you ran? Longest race?
Well, when I was younger, I did some centennial races, and they were up in the 20 miles. But just recent years that I did the last Las Vegas, I did the 10K.
Okay. You've ran centennial, and then you say you're not a runner. And you've run.
Yeah, it's just not.
So is a centennial longer than a marathon?
Well, they were all different. It depended on the town was celebrating their centennials. There were a lot of them in a span of a couple years. So I would go around, and it would depend, like if they had a lake and you had to run around the whole lake, or they were all different.
Yeah, running is hard.
It is.
And it's also high impact.
It is.
So it hurts.
Yes.
Especially if you, like the first half marathon, I've only ran 2 half marathons. The first one I ran, I didn't really train for. Mm-hmm. So it hurt for a long time.
Yes.
Not something I would recommend. Train before.
Yes. Yeah. And I have a little different way of training than a lot of people, but I train for the strength and endurance. So I go to Old Post and I run up the hill, interval training, not full running, and I've gone up and down that hill 4.25 times, I think was the most, doing sprinting, fast walking intervals, and people think I'm crazy.
Yeah, that's a steep hill.
Yeah.
That's a pretty steep hill right there.
Yeah.
And have you done Nebo?
I have not done Nebo. I've done similar, but not Nebo. But that might be on my list this year. I'm still debating it.
Okay. Very good. So people that are ready to take that step and start exercising and give it a try, maybe again. I bet a lot of people, it's not their first time.
Yes.
They probably tried it in the past a couple of times. How do they, how does it work? How do you sign up?
How do you
sign up for Fire Within?
Okay.
First step?
Well, first I just like to get you in there. And you can either join like a free class and just try it, or if you come in when it's not class time, I kind of put you through a walkthrough of a class, have you do a few exercises, get the gist of it. But it seems like actually trying a class is what gets people. If I can just get them to try a free class, a lot of times you're hooked.
Okay, so free classes, right?
Yeah, you get a couple free classes if you come in. Yep. And sometimes you end up being there alone depending on what time of the day it is, but almost everyone prefers having like 3, 4, 5 people in it. It just, there seems to be more energy in the room and people enjoy it more. But I almost, if I can get people into a class, they want to come back. It's just getting people to take that first step sometimes to.
Yeah. How can people reach out and sign up? What's the best method?
Usually coming and talking to me.
Okay.
I'm there a lot, so.
Just drop in anytime, see if you're there?
Yeah, or message through Messenger on the Facebook. And I answer back. I almost always been having some trouble with Messenger lately, but otherwise I answer back almost immediately if I can. So, and I'm willing to make an appointment too if I'm not going to be there. But
sounds great. Is there anything else you would like just anybody to know about the gym?
Well, to me, the 3 biggest draws of Fire Within is, number one, it's personal for me. If you don't show, I'm texting and saying, "Are you okay?" you
They're
know,
on the couch. Are you okay? Where are you at?
you know, and it's personal, where I'm creating a community that cares about each other. And it's not just physical. Some of our targets, like one of my personal targets for this year, is I used to read a lot. And since I've moved down here, I've hardly read any books. I'm looking up a lot of things, but I love to read, so I want to get back to reading. It doesn't have to be a physical goal. But everyone has come to me, and I've had people giving up pop. I've had people that are going to quit snacking at night. And I will say to you, did you snack last night? And I expect you to ask me, did you read part of your book last night? Or it's personal to me. We've had fundraisers for Salvation Army, for Joseph House. I just truly believe in community, and that for me, that sets this gym apart from anyone else in town, because it's a personal. You're not a number or money to me. Then the second thing is the classes. Almost everybody just really likes the classes. You work hard, but we have a good time. I push you, but I can make you laugh. You're going to gain if you come to classes. Then the third thing is, which we haven't talked about today, is our resistance equipment.
Let's talk about that, yeah.
Yes.
It's special.
Yes.
It's hydraulic.
It's hydraulic resistance equipment. There's no settings. You don't walk up to it and have to know the length from your hip to your knee, or you're not adjusting seats up and down or backs back and forth. You set your resistance and you're working on the machine. And we have 11 of them, 10 of them brand new, and they work. I used them up north in a gym, and they work. And they're just so much simpler than typical gym equipment. They're easy, but you work hard. They make you work hard, but you don't have to think so much and remember different knob settings. And
I've seen high-end gyms use those.
Yes.
And it lets you go as hard as you want, right?
Yes. Yep. There's resistance 1 to 6 on them, and you set your resistance and you're good to go. And I just truly believe in those machines. That was almost a must when we opened it, was this is what I want, because those other gym, and don't get me wrong, I like other gyms too, but I wanted this to just be simpler, not intimidating, put it that way, because I've seen women walk into other gyms and they're like, oh, and turn around and walk out. And I've heard the story many times that I pay and don't even go because I don't know what to do. And so to me, those are the three things that set Fire Within apart, is you are not just a person there, a member or money there to me. You mean something to me if you're there. And I even write down when my members have doctor appointments, have tests coming up. My husband has been sick. People are more than willing to fill in for me. I'm creating a personal community there. And then, like I said, the classes and the hydraulic equipment, to me, set that gym apart.
I think what most of your members will probably say is you're the reason it's different,
They could.
So, I know they say that. So that being said, if you haven't ever worked out before, you've been intimidated by it, tried it in the past, get a hold of Penny. Just go visit Fire Within Fitness Training next to Funky Town Mall, or message on Facebook for some free classes, and just give it a shot. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah. Thank you.